Hey, sports fans, football season is here, and it's time to get in on the action with MyBookie.net. MyBookie has real Vegas odds and incredible player props for all your favorite sporting events. MyBookie offers in-game live action on all pro and college football games. There's no better time to join MyBookie than today. Pull out your smartphone and visit our user-friendly mobile site for adrenaline on demand. Open your browser and type in MyBookie. What are you waiting for? Call 844-722-2387 or go online to join MyBookie today. No deposit necessary. Terms and conditions apply. Play for fun only. Void where prohibited.
Hi, this is Jim Feist in Las Vegas. I've been making my clients money for the past 45 years. I'm releasing a special 3-day trial right now on SBTVNation.com. I've isolated the top 5 college and pro football games on the board, and I absolutely love these games. Go to SBTVNation.com right now and click on the 3-day trial button for your exclusive package of winners.
Have a product, service, or website to advertise on the biggest show in the world? The SBTV Nation podcast reaches tens of thousands of the best sports fans on the planet in over 194 countries worldwide. Take your business to the next level by advertising with us. Call us now at 872-529-SBTV or email us at sbtvnation@gmail.com.
Studio check.
Frequencies check.
We are live on air.
You are listening to the In Fact Blessing the Airwaves. Take the journey into the world of sports, news, entertainment, while embracing the hottest beats on the planet. Rocking the mind, body, and soul. Energy, electricity, and a splash of controversy. Now, without further ado, it's our pleasure to bring to you
the biggest show in the world.
The biggest show in the world.
The biggest show in the world. The SBTV Nation.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Happy Sunday to you. It's Football Sunday, and we are here. We are live. We are the SBTV Nation. Good morning to everybody out there. Dr. Dan, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, man. Good morning, Dream. What's going on, kid?
What's happening, player?
Feeling good, just getting ready. But before we do that, guys, some sad news that has come across my page here. Dan, Major League pitcher for the Marlins, Jose Fernandez, has passed on.
So, yeah, R.I.P. Jose Fernandez. News coming out of Miami this morning that he crashed his yacht into the rocks and was confirmed to be dead. He was 24 years old, defected from Cuba in 2008, was very big in fighting for positive change within the Cuban government. Just seemed like an overall good kid. I mean, he was a kid. He was 24.
Exactly.
So RIP, and you don't want to look at it. I mean, the Marlins have canceled their game today. This obviously devastating for his family and the franchise, which really is the only another family you play. 160 games with these guys. You're around them more than your wife, kids, brothers, sisters. So just really heartfelt condolences to the team and the family.
Absolutely. Dream, what's your thoughts?
Oh, man, a tragic loss, especially at that age. I mean, you can't – what can you say about that?
Yeah, exactly. So, moving on here, guys. Anyway, let's talk about what went down yesterday. Just a real quick recap of college football. Dream, Ole Miss was a laugher.
Ole Miss was a laugher. We looked at that game. We talked about it. Had a really good feel about it. Turned out really nice. Hopefully, some people were able to get on it in cash. Yesterday was just an impressive day in general.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I fell down a little bit. I'm just wondering what happened to Sparty.
Oh, Michigan State did not show up, and that sets up a very interesting matchup next week in the Big Ten as the Wisconsin Badgers go to the Big House in Ann Arbor and got to play Harbizzle and the boys over at Michigan. Dream.
Yeah, I know, and I don't see a lot of positive things happening in that particular matchup for them because Michigan proved that they are the real deal at the crib yesterday, beating Penn State 49-10.
Yes, and that was a really good spot for them. So they did shine yesterday, and defense looked really good in that particular game. And moving on, speaking of a game that was supposed to be a defensive battle, Tennessee comes all the way back being down 21-0 and scores 38 points and beats number 19 Florida. Dan, what's your thoughts on Florida giving up that big lead?
So, someone want to tell these kids they got to play 2 halves of football?
I know.
Like, this is such a college thing. That's why, like, almost every college game I play, I take a small hedge at the half. Like, especially with a big lead where you're talking like you put a minimal dollar amount down, and if, something crazy happens, at least you're not kicking yourself all night. Because, I mean, I just feel like this happens way too much.
Exactly.
The thing in this particular game, though, I mean, one thing you got to with college also is momentum and home teams. We have discussed in the past, especially with college. I don't like to take a lot of road teams in college because that atmosphere, when it starts going and you get that momentum turn, it's very hard to overcome that. And I think we saw this happen yesterday, especially in this Florida-Tennessee game. Not to mention, during the course of the game, some things just start getting figured out. Florida's inability to execute on offense was an issue that concerned me going into that game yesterday because we've seen Florida in the past leave their defense out on the field just way too long and relying on them to make plays. Right. And in this situation, I think that came back to bite them.
Well, speaking of defense, guys, the Alabama Crimson Tide shut out the Kent State Golden Flashes. And, Dan, you were on the prop for them to shut them out.
Shutout prop, baby.
And the shutout prop actually worked out. But, Jalen Hurts only had 164 yards in this game. But Alabama, did their thing and covered their spread as part of the beatdown blotter yesterday. And you know what? Hey, the Thundering Herd did put up 28 points, guys. But they did not cover the spread as Louisville covered. And Axon Jackson, 7 more touchdowns to his Heisman resume.
Yeah, everybody, please talk to me. I'd like to hear everybody's thing with how Marshall was going to surprise Louisville, and Louisville better be careful, and he's not going to be it's all quiet crickets.
It's all crickets, exactly. Well, hey, you know what? I took a small shot.
Clemson better watch out next week.
Don't worry, because if you're listening to the program at about 15 minutes, we will change over to who we are, a.k.a. the SBTV Nation, a.k.a. the Psychic Friends.
The Psychic.
Hey, Dream, I think we were psychic about something yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Florida State? What?
You didn't have to be a psychic for Florida State.
I just, I was sweating that one before the game started just because everybody's like, telling me I'm crazy for going Florida State, like literally telling me I'm insane. Everybody I know. So I was sweating that before, but I think we proved that there is still a conference difference there.
There is
definitely a conference difference, man. When you look at that Florida State team, you cannot. Like I said, they lost to South Florida yesterday. Their season was a wrap.
Oh, big time.
Oh, dude. And I still think that they got to be angry coming out of the game that they still gave up 35 to South Florida.
Very good point. And how about Auburn gets the job done? Big ups to TK for calling in yesterday and talking about Auburn. And you know what? Like you said, Dan, your thoughts on the last play of the game?
Look, I don't understand. I am under the impression at the rules, right? If there's an offensive penalty, there's supposed to be a 10-second runoff or a timeout has to be called. LSU didn't have any timeouts. There should have been a 10-second runoff. There wasn't. That being said, there's no way that he snapped the ball in 1 second. Right. I mean, it was very obvious. The clock hit 0. The center's hands didn't move till after that. Good win by Auburn. And, I mean, look, LSU, your quarterback stinks.
Very good point. So,
oh, my God.
We're going to see what the future is of Mr. Les
LSU
Miles.
thinks they're going to Leonard Fournette you to death. I mean, he's a talented running back, but I just think the relying on his ability is just too much that they have tried.
Oh my God, you're so right, Dream. You're 100%, because if you watch, and I saw like the end of that game too, and at the end of the game, like 7-8 minutes left in the fourth, they're trying to throw dip and dunk pass to Fournette, and I'm like, do you not have a receiver to throw the ball to? At least try and get it down the field. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
Sure.
Right. So, hey, that was that as far as the college football. And just one more spot. The Houston Cougars win 64-3, Dream, over Texas State. Greg Ward Jr., 289 yards yesterday.
Greg Ward said, don't forget about me with the Heisman talks while you're looking at everybody else.
That's true.
Yeah, I know. But, I mean, Lamar Jackson is clearly the front runner right now.
Oh, sure. No, without a doubt, definitely.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the league is thinking that Greg Ward is a better NFL prospect, though.
Maybe. Who knows?
Just because, I think Jackson still has a lot of trouble with the playbook. Like, his natural ability is by far the best.
And his downfield accuracy is amazing. I mean, he's hitting these guys in stride like better than a lot of NFL quarterbacks that we're seeing these days.
Yeah.
It's crazy what he's doing.
I actually think that the NFL probably, based on what I've seen out of Goff and Goff sitting because of the offense that, Cal used, Houston also runs a lot of that spread as well. They're saying that, these guys don't really accurately, like switching that over and transferring it to the NFL level has been problematic, which is why we haven't seen Goff start yet. So they may actually think that Jackson is the better prospect, and that's
it's very possible. I love Lamar Jackson. I love that dude, but something about me screaming Jamarcus Russell in the NFL. I'm just like, I don't know, because Jamarcus Russell could throw that deep ball so well, and then I know he had other problems, don't get me wrong. I just think that, I don't want to sound mean, but there's been a lot of talk about how the dude has had a lot of problems, memorizing the playbook. And those NFL playbooks are it's like reading the Bible front to back. So.
Sure. Yes, very good point. So moving over to baseball, guys, the Boston Red Sox clinch a playoff spot yesterday with their 10th straight win. Dan, this team is a problem.
Until the playoffs and David Price gets rocked in his first start, You're right. I mean, look, I think the Red Sox are a very good team, and they definitely have the firepower to but they're going to need Price. They're going to need Price to perform in the postseason.
Yes.
Win the World Series.
Exactly. So who do you throw on the bump in Game 1, Dan? Rick Porcello?
Look, if I'm managing that team, yeah, I throw Porcello, but I think they throw Price.
You think so? Just because
it's just the respect, the stupid baseball respect stuff. Oh, he's got the big contract. I think you throw Price, and almost maybe you do it because let's say he gets destroyed. Your offense is good enough that you could win a 10-9 game.
Yeah, good point.
And then it's okay, David Price got beat in a game, so now we got our better guys. But you also don't know, are these other guys in this rotation, how are they going to perform in the playoffs? We don't. There's just some unknowns there on the staff. That the lineup. I mean, look, Ortiz will obviously be the carrying of that team into the postseason. I think they're good enough to win it, but there are also some question marks, like there are with every team.
Exactly. So the Nationals clinch the NL East, Dan.
Yes.
They won the division yesterday with the big win yesterday, and the Mets lose the game. The Mets almost came back. They were down 10-0.
Would have been the biggest comeback, I think, in the history.
It would have.
One of them. I know the history of the Mets, and the Phillies had never blown a 10-run lead. What can I say? I mean, you started Sean Gilmartin, who immediately literally gas can, coming out there and just lighting fires. But hey, look, I'll be out at Citi Field today. Hopefully, we can get back on track, get a win. Thought the Padres are going to come back and beat the Giants. That didn't happen, and the Cards win. So it's crazy if there is a 3-way tie. The Mets will play first at San Francisco, and then the loser of that game will play at St. Louis. And then the winners of whatever will be a wild card. So it's crazy.
That's how it works?
So there's an A, B, and a C team. The way it works is that the way the A, B, and C is designated, first off, it's your record in against each other. And the Giants, Mets, and Cardinals, the Giants and Mets are 4-3 against the Cardinals, right? So they're automatically the A and B. And then the Giants get the A because they're better against their own division as of right now.
Wow.
Okay, so then that means the A and the B get 2 chances at one wild card spot, while the C team has to win 1 game at home.
That's interesting. I had no idea that was the case. So, well, you know what? I mean, the way it's looking right now, you've got the Mets and San Francisco are tied right now for the wild card, and St. Louis is a half game behind them, Dan.
Yeah, and I gotta say again, and I not to bring bad vibes, I just feel bad because the Mets were supposed to play the Marlins starting tomorrow.
Wow.
And Fernandez was supposed to be on the mound against Syndergaard.
Oof.
So I know they've canceled today's game. I don't think that baseball can let them. I mean, these games are too meaningful for baseball to let them cancel.
Right.
So unfortunately, that game will have to get played. I just don't know the temperament of what's going to happen tomorrow.
Got it. So as we talked about, you got a couple of division leaders who have clinched the divisions now, being the Cubs and being Washington. And I believe the Cubs have clinched the number 1 seed in the NL, Dan?
Yeah, by far.
So they're going to be at home the majority of the games.
Yeah, they'll be able to blow it at home.
They'll be able to blow it in Wrigley. And doesn't the American
for all their fans, it'll be
the American League, I believe, has home field advantage.
Yeah, because
right?
of the wonderful decision to have an all-star game decide home field, whatever.
Wow.
But I'm all about. I think interleague play should decide the World Series home if you want to do something like that, or I think just the better team maybe. But it sounds the way baseball wants to do it. But yeah, no, the Cubs are so scary. The Cubs are really scary. And right now it's going to be whoever wins that wild card game.
Right. And, when you look at the American League and the wild card standings, got Toronto versus Baltimore. If it ended today, Detroit only a half game out, and Seattle Mariners 2.5 games out. Does Seattle have a chance here, Dan? Because I've been plugging them.
I don't think so. I mean, 2.5 with what now? 5?
You have
5 games.
Let's see here. You've got what are we at? 154 games. You got 10 games left on the schedule.
That doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make any sense?
No,
you don't think so?
Too many games. No, they are. Let's see. They are. Oh my God. They are at the Twins, which they need to win today after losing yesterday, and then they're at the Astros through September 28th, and then they should have 3 games after that. They pretty much have to. I mean, you would have to think they have to win out. But look, you're talking about there's 2 teams ahead of them. If they lose, and I don't know. It's very unlikely, but I wouldn't count it out.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been plugging them along with the Red Sox all year long. So you know what? At least I got the Red Sox looking good in the AL. So
yeah, well, if you get a Red Sox Mets World Series,
that it just pays absolutely ridiculous. So that's where I'm at right now. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with the full slate of the NFL with my guys here at the SBTV Nation. Stay tuned.
Looking to win big this football season? Go to smpicks.com, the #1 sports expert in picking winners. Everyone wants that winning edge. At smpicks.com, you'll get 30 years of experience in picking big winners on all sports with our team of experts. At smpicks.com, it's all about being a winner. Owner Scott Matthews just can't see it any other way. Visit right now at smpicks.com and receive your first huge winner on us, absolutely free. That's right, all listeners receive your first huge winner on us, Scott Matthews, a great American. It's absolutely free. That's right, free just by registering at smpicks.com/SBTV.
Hey, sports fans, football season is here, and it's time to get in on the action with MyBookie.net. MyBookie.net is the first and only sports action website with real Vegas odds and incredible player props for all your favorite sporting events. The best part is there are no sign-up fees and no deposits required to join, play, or win. From pro to college football, MyBookie.net lets you play online and win big. There's no better time to join MyBookie than today. Go online to MyBookie.net to open an account to start playing with the big boys. MyBookie has proven to be the most exciting online experience for all sports fans. Get in on the action. Visit MyBookie.net today. Call 844-722-2387. That's 844-722-2387. Or visit MyBookie.net today. MyBookie.net is the real deal. Only the biggest, only the best, only at MyBookie. Sign up today. No deposit necessary. Terms and conditions apply. Play for fun only. Void where prohibited.
DigitalMuscle.com. The fitness industry's media hub, home to the most knowledgeable, influential, and inspiring members of the worldwide fitness community. DigitalMuscle.com, the exclusive home of the Arnold Classic webcast, Pro Bodybuilding Worldwide Radio, and the new Digital Muscle blogosphere. Join us at the fitness industry's media hub, DigitalMuscle.com. DigitalMuscle.com.
Hi, this is Jim Feist in Las Vegas. I've been making my clients money for the past 45 years. I'm releasing a special 3-day trial right now on SBTVNation.com. I've isolated the top 5 college and pro football games on the board, and I absolutely love these games. Go to SBTVNation.com right now and click on the 3-day trial button for your exclusive package of winners.
Ladies and gentlemen of the world, we are back, the SBTV Nation. Stand up. We are live on Twitter right now, SBTV Nation. You could feel free to email us. You could feel free to give us a call right now. We are at 972-885-6184. That's 972-885-6184. Feel free to email us, tweet at us, give us a call, and let us know if you have any questions or anything that you want to talk about. And we're going to get right into the NFL right now, and I'm going to kick it off with you, Dream. We got 1 o'clock, we got 4 o'clock, and we got the Sunday night game. Where are you going as far as your first game?
Well, my first game at 1 o'clock, I'm going to go, I don't want to take this team away from Dr. Dan because I do like the New York Giants again. We've talked about the Giants. I've talked about their ability to execute this season. I've talked about them being one of the best teams in the NFC East, even though Philly is starting to emerge their heads, but I still think that the Giants are the most complete team because they don't have a rookie quarterback going. They do have Eli Manning at the quarterback position. Obviously, we know about Odell Beckham Jr. We know about Sterling Shepard, and we know about Victor Cruz. That's the 3-headed monster back there in that deep backfield, which even though you're going to have Norman on one side or have him on Odell Beckham Jr., not sure what's going to happen today. There's talks that he's going to be straight on Odell, which I think I
hope so.
I know you do. That's I hope so too, because I like the Giants, and if they do, I think it's a big mistake because not only will Odell burn him, but then they can go in the opposite direction as well and still have a lot of success. I do like what the Giants have available. The only thing scary about the Redskins, obviously, 0-2, but I don't see them coming into New York. I see the game being a lot like it was last week with probably not as much offense out of the Redskins as they saw with Drew Brees. So I do like the Giants today. I like them at home. I like them to win this game.
Dan, your thoughts on that?
I mean, look, I think the Giants' offense has been right there like the last couple weeks, and either a couple stupid mistakes or just some big defensive plays by the other team have kind of prevented the scoring. I think today they find a way to score the ball. I really do. And like Dream said, if you want to line up Norman on Beckham the whole game, fine. Lito Shepard will eat you up. Victor Cruz will eat you up.
And Beckham will burn Norman.
I agree. You know my thoughts on Norman, but I don't want to hear the whole Homer thing from all the people out there. But no, I mean, look, I am not a Norman guy in the slightest, even before the whole Odell Beckham thing. I just think that his mouth is bigger than his game. That being said, I do expect the Giants to win this game. Right now, it's at 3.5. I would get that down if you want to spread by a point.
There you go.
By a point.
There you go. So I'm going to punch in my first caller here. He is calling from New York, actually, or Jersey. This is Irvin. What's up, buddy?
What up? Hey, like Irv Gamble.
What's going on? I'm seeing that you got some NFL picks up your sleeve. How you doing today?
Yeah, I'm blessed, guys. I woke up, my feet hit the ground. I'm blessed at the gym session.
All right.
I'm going to go to the Mets game. Hopefully I could say what's up to Dan, but
nice.
If not, it's all good because I know he's with the kids.
We try.
Hey, Dream, what's up, baby? Come on, man. Talk to me, Dream. What's up, baby?
Irv, I went out to get a pencil, and I have my accountant on the line. Can I please get your place for today, as last week Fading You was very profitable?
All right. It's all cool. It's all cool, man. You know, everyone loses, man. I was due a loss, so hey, I'm not even mad because I was due a loss. Week 1 and 2, I killed it. But you know what? It's all good. But anyway, this is you guys were just discussing the Giants game. I agree with you guys 100%. I'm all the way Giants today. I got a money line because I do dream style. That's my style. I do dream style.
There you go. There you go.
And you guys, and Dan, you could have not said it any better about Josh Norman. That cat, he talks a lot of game. And if y'all remember when they played the Pittsburgh Steelers, where was he at? Why wasn't he Why wasn't he guarded Antonio Brown?
Because Antonio Brown.
Am I right or wrong?
Anyway.
Absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah, exactly.
And not even that, fellas. Check this out, fellas. When he played last week, when they played the Cowboys, Des Bryant had at least, I know, over 100 yards. I know Des Bryant went off and had a game.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, that's right. That's a very good point. So
who else you looking at today? Who else do you like today as far as football's concerned?
The Oakland Raiders. Give me the Raiders today because I love the Raiders. I know they're going to win. I believe they're at home if I'm not mistaken.
They're on the road in Tennessee.
They're on the road in
Tennessee. They're minus 1.5 today.
So it's good to see.
Even better. But one thing about the Raiders that I heard, I think Herman Edwards said, when you're a young team, you're inconsistent, which is all good. I could believe that, but they have a lot of talent. And the defense hasn't been showing up. They've been, terrible. The defense has been terrible with Oakland. But they are going to get it together today. So that's an easy play. That's one of my 5 stars.
Not so fast there.
Not so fast.
I hate to disagree. I think that's a dirty, dangerous game.
I don't know opinion.
I'm just saying in Tennessee. In Tennessee, that's a dangerous game because remember, Oakland's traveling for a 1:00 game into Eastern Time. Teams that do that notoriously, they're like only have a 30% win. And if you take the Seahawks out of it, like over the last couple of years, it's bad news to travel east for a game like this. And look, Mariota's been putting it together. You know, home team dog. I would be very careful of this game.
There you go. All right, Irvin, thank you.
I feel you, Dan, but Tennessee doesn't scare me.
Best of luck to you, Irv. I'll root for you since I'm not going to touch it.
Thanks for calling in, Irv. We always appreciate it. And
yo, hold on. Let me give 2 more plays real quick. I'm not going to get into that. Just 2 more plays. Give me the Steelers money line and give me the Cowboys. I'm in the survivor pool and I'm still alive.
There you go.
Give me the Cowboys. That's my survivor pick.
There he goes.
Much love, players. Have a good one.
Take care, man. Have a good one.
Take it easy, man.
All right. So
peace.
I got another comment here. I've got John from San Francisco asking me what my Miami Dolphins are going to do today. And I'm looking at that game at 1:00, and I've got the Cleveland Browns coming into Miami. And I got Miami minus 10 with an under-over of 42. And I could tell you this much. I have a 2-team teaser that I added Michigan into yesterday that covered successfully, and I am going to close it out with the Miami Dolphins. I'm taking the Miami Dolphins down to 2.5, and I like this game. I think they're gonna win by double digits and cover the spread, to be honest with you. But I'm going to add that into my teaser, and hopefully that's a successful play. And that's what I'm looking at. I think the defensive line is going to absolutely tear up Cleveland. Cleveland's only averaging 15 points a game, guys. Bring Cleveland into Miami. Cleveland is 1-5 against the spread in the last 6 games on the road. Miami has not fared that well, but they got to basically take their aggression out today. I think they'll get the job done and win this game big time. Dream, what's your thoughts on the Dolphins in Cleveland today? just out of curiosity.
I thought you just said you think they're going to win by double digits, and I just almost fell out of my chair. But I was already on the floor when I saw that they were given 9.5, which I'm still trying to figure out how in the world the Dolphins have the audacity to be giving anyone 9.5.
Who's playing quarterback for the Browns?
Actually,
is it Charlie Whitehurst?
Dolphins.
Right.
Fair enough. But the Dolphins might score 21 points on defense.
Yeah.
Because they're given 9.5. So
I know, it's crazy. That's crazy.
Can't be Tannehill at quarterback. Do they got Dan Marino's going to play today?
Yeah, right.
No, the Browns signed 11-year pro Charlie Whitehurst this week to back up who? I don't even know who this guy is. I don't know. That's why.
Yeah, it's a brutal game here. And Miami just, rushing the ball has not been successful at all. They're only rushing for 67 yards a game. But
I hate this game. Listen, I've got no opinion on it. I'm not even turning it on. I don't even want to discuss it tomorrow. I'm going to do it on a quarterback hat.
Okay. All right. But it's your numbers. It's minus 10.
Not my numbers.
It's your numbers. So, I don't know. I think the Dolphins get it done. And I think this will be... Yeah, I mean, a lot of the trends are pointing towards the under in this game. I don't like the total. I just like the Dolphins to get it done. So it's a great spot to close out a teaser, though. Absolutely.
I have a much better garbage game than that.
All right, Dan. Well, I'm going to kick it over to you for another garbage game, and we'll have that conversation. What do you got?
All right. We're going to go with another 1 o'clock home team dog.
Okay.
The Jacksonville Jaguars are getting a win today.
Really?
Yes.
Versus the Baltimore Ravens.
I think they are a bad road team. They're moderately good at home, and I think where they can exploit the Ravens is with that downfield passing game. I think they score a lot of points today. I still don't think the Ravens are all that. I mean, we're talking about Ravens getting a 13-7 win over the pathetic Bills, and then having to come back like crazy at Cleve.
Yep.
And now you're going down to at Jacksonville. I really like the Jags in this matchup today.
Dream, any thoughts on the 2-0 Ravens versus the 0-2 Jacksonville Jags?
Ugly game. I don't know who the Jaguars are. I don't really know who the Ravens are either. I don't know what either one of their defenses are really about. Offensively, we talk about Blake Bortles when you talk about the Jaguars. I think he's a little bit overrated. I mean, carrying over from a decent season last year that people just weren't paying him any attention for. Came back, the team was down in a lot of spots, so he had to throw the ball. I hate the game. I would not go near this game.
All right, just a couple of trends here, guys. Baltimore has been an awful road team. 3-7 in their last 10 games on the road. 2-7 in the last 9 when playing on the road in Jacksonville. So they're not faring well at all versus this Jacksonville.
I would rather have Bortles and Flacco. That's all I'm saying.
You would, huh?
Oh, come on.
All right.
I mean, I'm the preeminent Flacco hater. I mean, I just do not think he's a good quarterback.
All right.
And again, he doesn't have a ton of talent around him. So I'll give him that. Like, he doesn't have a ton, but it's like he either throws a good deep ball or nothing. I mean, he's inaccurate in the intermediate routes.
Yep.
Okay. They don't drive the field. Like I said, when they score, it's big play scoring, which is great. You need a couple of those in a game, but you need to be able to control the ball, and he is not that quarterback.
I'm going to punch in another caller, Mr. Scott Weaver, that wants to talk about the Baltimore Ravens. Good morning to you, Weave.
Hey, what's up, fellas? What's going on out there?
How you doing?
What's up, Weave?
Player.
Oh, man, I'm doing good. Dr. Daniel stole my thunder, man. I think the Jags get it done today, too, man. I'm with you, man. I don't think Baltimore can go on the road today and get that win. And Jacksonville, at the first of the season, Jacksonville was kind of the favorite to win that division based upon what they did draft-wise, what they had coming back. And I think they're just a better home team. I mean, you play a Green Bay team that you should have beat week 1. You go out west, you lay an egg at San Diego and get blown out. I think you come back home and you beat a Baltimore Ravens team today.
I'm with you.
I'm with you. Out of there. I'm gonna get you out of here because we need to talk about something else. I'm gonna have to defer and put NFL on hold for a minute because I gotta ask you, brother, to please get yourself some tissues. Because it's going to be a little slow.
Here's what I got to say about that. The whole world will be on the Louisville Cardinals next week.
Including the Dream.
I will. Including the Dream. Including the Dream. But here's the deal. Death Valley, 8 p.m. Lamar Jackson's never played in a crowd like that in his life. I can promise you Clemson comes out with a win next week. They played terrible. They've not played up to potential. I get it. What did the defense do in the first half against Georgia Tech? 8 total yards. Now, this is a rebuilt defense from
I know you're not plugging Georgia Tech offense now.
They're still Georgia Tech, but 8 total yards. Tells you something.
I know you're
I'm
not.
telling you.
I know you're not.
Win
Hold the Georgia Tech down.
Wow. So you're plugging the Clemson Tigers to beat Louisville. Louisville, the most dynamic offense right now in college football, and you think Clemson is going to shut that down next week?
How many teams come to Death Valley APN and win? Not many, and it ain't gonna be Louisville. If you got Florida State on your chest, maybe. Not Louisville.
Let me just tell you how dirty I'm going to be for this particular game. I'm going to watch this game, and I'm gonna take Louisville and watch this game and wear your Clemson gear that you sent me.
Wow! Wow!
Interesting.
Hey, well, I tell you what. I'm gonna get Dabo on FaceTime, and we'll FaceTime you during the game.
There you go. There you go. Fantastic. Weave, thank you so much for calling the show. We really appreciate it, and good luck to the Clemson Tigers next week.
Hey, no problem, man. We'll talk about it later on this week, I'm sure, Dream.
All
Definitely.
All right. Have a good one. All right, guys.
Have a great day.
All right. So, Dream, we have time for one more NFL game before we take a break. What do you got?
All right. I'm going to, unfortunately, I've got to discuss this game. And I know it was given out yesterday. Well, actually, there's two games. Well, let's go to the Panther game. It's the other game that I like today. I like the Carolina Panthers. The Vikings, as far as I'm concerned, should be 0-2. Instead, they're 2-0. Sam Bradford played effectively last week, considering the fact he's only been there for 2 weeks, but he still didn't blow you away. I don't know what was wrong with Green Bay last week. I thought there was some communication issues with them. I thought obviously turnovers as well. Ugh. The Vikings definitely made out with turnovers in the week before as well with Tennessee. I don't think you're going to see the same thing happen in Carolina. I do like the Carolina Panthers today. I think their offense will be effective against this defense. I also think that the Vikings' loss of Adrian Peterson is going to put a little bit more pressure on Bradford to have to throw the ball, which the Carolina Panther defense should be able to capitalize.
All right, Dan, your thoughts on that?
I mean, look, I'm with you. I actually kind of like the under 43 in this game.
Okay.
I think the under 43, I just think that Minnesota defense is really good. And the thing is, I think that Bradford is that good ball control quarterback, and they don't really have big plays. So you're going to see a lot of ball control, a lot of moving. And again, Carolina's also lost, they're down a starting running back. The only thing that you really have to be concerned with, and I think it's a good matchup for the secondary, is I think they can actually cover Benjamin. I think Minnesota might be able to cover him a little bit.
Interesting. So Minnesota's 5-1 straight up in the last 6 games and 6-1 on the road.
Minnesota plus 7 is actually kind of a nice play.
7.5 I got here on my board.
If you got 7.5, I'm not seeing the Panthers blowing them out.
You don't think so, huh?
No, unless Bradford gets hurt, which is could happen at any second.
Interesting, Dan. All right. Well, hey, I wish you the best luck. I am not going to take this game. I'm going to stay away from it just because I'm still kind of trying to understand what Carolina is. Dream,
but you're taking Miami.
I am taking Miami today. Yes. It's Cleveland. Come on.
It's a better choice. Don't take the defending Super Bowl losers. Yeah, right. Take Miami, who didn't even win 5 games last season.
All right, whatever. Guys, we're going to take a quick break. We will be right back with the rest of the NFL. You're listening to your boys at the SBTV Nation.
DigitalMuscle.com, the fitness industry's media hub, home to the most knowledgeable, influential, and inspiring members of the worldwide fitness community. DigitalMuscle.com, the exclusive home of the Arnold Classic webcast, Pro Bodybuilding Worldwide Radio, and the new Digital Muscle blogosphere. Join us at the fitness industry's media hub, DigitalMuscle.com. DigitalMuscle.com.
Looking to win big this football season? Go to smpicks.com, the #1 sports expert in picking winners. Everyone wants that winning edge. At smpicks.com, you'll get 30 years of experience in picking big winners on all sports with our team of experts. At smpicks.com, it's all about being a winner. Owner Scott Matthews just can't see it any other way. Visit right now at smpicks.com and receive your first huge winner on us, absolutely free. That's right, all listeners receive your first huge winner on us, Scott Matthews, a great American. It's absolutely free. That's right, free, just by registering at smpicks.com/SBTV.
Have a product, service, or website to advertise on the biggest show in the world? The SBTV Nation podcast reaches tens of thousands of the best sports fans on the planet in over 194 countries worldwide. Take your business to the next level by advertising with us. Call us now at 872-529-SBTV or email us at sbtvnation@gmail.com.
All right, guys, we are back. It's Sunday morning, and it's time to have a conversation about some other football games that are on the card today. I'm going to kick it off with myself because there's a game that I'm looking at that I'm kind of feeling. And I don't know if you guys are going to be on the same page as me, but I kind of am leaning towards the Cincinnati Bengals today. They are -3.5 hosting the Denver Broncos with an under-over of 43. I think that they will get the job done at home and win this game. You got a lot of intangibles as far as Denver is concerned with Simeon at the helm being on the road. I think they have a really great defense, but I'm looking at Cincinnati through the air, 345 yards per game. I like Cincinnati to get it done. I'd like to know your thoughts, Dream, on Cincinnati versus Denver.
My thoughts on Cincinnati versus Denver. To me, it's a very ugly game. First of all, Denver's a defensive team, and defensive teams tend to travel a little bit better than teams that, constantly, depend on their offense. So in the Cincinnati Bengals, offensively, I look at them and they're missing some weapons. I just don't, to me, this game is under. I don't like the side.
Dan, how about you?
I lean where you're going.
Okay.
I definitely agree. I think that this Cincinnati defense is definitely going to find a way to disrupt what Simeon's doing. Like, I don't care what systems there is. I mean, he's still going to get rattled by a top 5 defense today. I just worry if Cincinnati can score the ball on their own.
Yeah.
So, and again, the turnover. I mean, I think Cincinnati wins this game at home. And I think they really have to set a tone for their season, too.
Right, and you never play that 3.5 number. You have to get it down to 3 or 2.5, obviously, if you're a sophisticated player out there. Denver is 2-5 against the spread in the last 7 games when playing the Cincinnati Bengals. I like the Bengals to get it done. I think they will win this game, and, they've been pretty good at home. They win about, over the last couple of years, about 67% of their
rushing yards for the Bengals.
Oh, it's brutal. 51.5 rushing yards per game.
Yeah, well, but here's the thing. It's a misleading number.
Okay.
Because Gio Bernard does not really rush the ball, but remember, they throw to him out of the backfield.
Yeah, good point.
Like, all the time. Like, he probably gets 10 or 11 of those, like, that are considered passes. But, like, that's their running game, which I agree. If you need to line up and run it up the gut, they really can't do that, though. And that's a problem if Denver can force him into short yardage situations, which is why that's a little scary.
All right, sounds good. So my man Terrence Mack is asking us to break down the 49ers and Seattle game.
Love it.
Dan, I see that you've already tweeted back at him, and love to know your thoughts on the San Francisco 49ers versus the Seattle Seahawks in the 12th man in Seattle.
And T-Mac beat me to the punch because I was excited to have this conversation with Dream on the phone. Because, I'm looking at this plus 10 number. I'm like, you're crazy. Seahawks do not. I mean, they might have the worst offensive line in football.
Okay.
Their offensive, and if you cannot win on the offensive or defensive front, you're done. You're done. And their defense is still solid. And look, you have Russell Wilson that has escapability. They are not blowing out the 49ers today. They're not winning by double digits.
You think this will be a tight game?
I think this is a tight game all the way through. I mean, I could see something like 9-3.
Wow.
I mean, maybe like a 4 field goals to a touchdown, 12-7. I mean, something. I just don't. Seattle cannot score the ball. They can't move the ball. They can't do anything on offense. And, for as many mistakes as Gabbert makes, he does some things okay. So if he just doesn't turn the ball over, I might even money line the Niners here a little bit.
Wow. So you know what? And I did tweet out something yesterday that was an absolutely mind-boggling stat. So Blaine Gabbert has more consecutive games with a touchdown than any other quarterback in the NFL right now.
I love it. Dream, what do you? Am I crazy?
I don't think you're crazy. You know, I'm at the point now with the Seattle team. You know, I thought the Seattle team was good. I guess I got to put this team as average. You know, I can't knock anything you said there. I think 10, you know, based on what we've seen out of Seattle, the 10 looks solid. The only thing that worries me about Seattle and San Fran, though, Seattle has beat up on the Niners before in the past, especially at home. So that's the only one thing that bothers me. The other thing is Chip in that offense. You know, they're 3 and out. It's like 10 seconds. That defense is going to be a lot on the field for a long time, where Seattle may eventually figure it out. But, I mean, until Seattle starts showing us something offensively, because this team, they just offensively show you nothing.
Right. Nothing.
You watch them, and it's like when are they going to do something? You know, when are they going to produce something offensively? And until they do, and the Niners defense, you know, it's a solid defense. I mean, they will be exhausted by the fourth quarter, but it's a solid defense. So, you know,
this Seahawks team has scored 15 points.
I know, and I cannot. I'm not touching the game, but I cannot disagree with you.
I know. They average 7.5 points on the season offensively, the Seattle Seahawks. And this game, I mean, this series has, you know, historically gone under. In like the last 7 games, I mean, 6 of them have gone under. They've been ugly, nasty, brutal games.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is, I look at the Niners and the Dolphins almost very similarly.
Okay.
You know, like very similar teams, like very untrustworthy quarterback, real good defense, you know, especially the front. Like I'm saying, I just see it going. I'm with you. The under, I mean, look, you know, maybe this is too easy. I don't know.
The Seahawks would like to get that guy off of his knee and get him into the game to start, because they own that guy that doesn't want to stand for the national anthem.
Ain't that the truth?
Very good point. All right, Dream, I'm going to kick it over to you. Where are you going on the card today?
All right, I got to go in another direction. It's going to, you know, we had a caller call in yesterday, and unfortunately, I did some more soul searching with this. I just can't do it. You know, the Lions are coming into Green Bay.
Yeah,
they're a dome team. They're coming into the tundra. They're playing in Green Bay. I know it's not going to be cold there, but I don't care. It's tough to win in Green Bay. The Packers looked, I will give you, out of sync last week. Jordy Nelson and Rodgers didn't look in sync at all. I also noticed some communication issues as far as the play calling is concerned. Hopefully the Packers, I would assume, fix that all up. They won't have to deal with crowd noise in Green Bay as they are in Green Bay. I think that McCarthy needs to stop calling the plays, put an offensive coordinator up in the booth, and let him call the plays from the headset like most NFL teams do. That is probably not happening today, but that is one of the problems I see with this Green Bay Packer offense. However, the Packers are going to beat the Lions today. I'm sorry. The Packers are not losing to the Lions today at home. Maybe they don't cover the 7 number. I don't know. You guys know I don't play around with points. I usually get rid of them. I don't see this Packer losing to this Lions team today.
All right.
I'm with you.
You're with it.
I'm with it. I do think that the 7 points. I think Detroit covers that, though. That's my thing. I know you don't mess around with points. I'm saying if everybody does. I wouldn't touch this game. I think this is like a grenade of a game, because the thing is, if the Packers actually get rolling, like they start figuring it out, you know, first quarter, second quarter, they're not going to take their foot off the gas. And I mean, you know, that number could get. There's something about the Packers. They have, like you said, they have to figure it out more. But again, they are at home. There's going to be no crowd noise. I think they definitely get the win, but I think it's a close game.
Well, last year, if you go back to this game, Green Bay actually lost this game 18-16 versus Detroit in the frozen tundra. And guys, you know what? We're a couple of gamblers that are talking about who we're on today, but if you want to get down with an expert, this segment is brought to you by sports betting legend Mr. Jim Feist. Go to SBTVNation.com and click on the 3-day trial button to receive your exclusive package of football winners today. This one here, you know, anytime you have an interdivision matchup, they always tend to be a stomachache. So I'm just going to kind of fall back from this, because I think, you know, in my heart of hearts, I'm thinking that the Green Bay Packers get it done. They win the game. They win the game convincingly. But when I'm looking at the history of how it's gone down, it bothers me, and I'm going to stay away from it, to be honest with you. So that's where I'm moving on, and we'll go from there. Dan, you got any more football up your sleeve?
Let's go with the New York Jets. Okay.
New York Jets.
+3 at Kansas City.
Okay.
I think the Jets are a better team. I really do think Kansas City, I think, is just missing a couple things. Their secondary is good, but I think the Jets can exploit that. Again, they have, 3 great receivers. One who's like almost like a tight end in a Nunwe, and then you got 2 guys outside in Marshall and Decker. I'm not sure if Kansas City's going to be able to hang there. I like the Jets at the +3 number.
This game reminds me so much of Florida, Tennessee yesterday.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're going, Dream.
See written all over it, where it looks like, the Jets are coming in. They're moving the ball down the field. They were impressive. They've got all the momentum. Kansas City coming off of a loss, look kind of rusty. The defense isn't playing that well. Can't really get the running game going. But for some reason, I don't know why, I just don't trust the Jets. But I'm not touching the game. Good luck on this one, if you're getting involved with it. But it just, I don't know. I just don't know.
My thing is after I saw how bad the Texans actually are.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And the Chargers, they're a joke too. And they barely beat them. So, I just think that the Jets have by far, well, I don't want to say by far. The Texans' defense is still very good, I guess. But the Jets have a very, very good defense, and I think they have the best offensive line that the Chiefs have faced. That's why, I'm not impressed by the Kansas City Chiefs in the slightest right now.
No, and you know what? You very well may be right. And for that reason, I'm not even going near this game. I hear you. There's something so you just can't. I'm not able to trust the Jets yet.
I hear you. No, and this is, you're 100% right. This is the win that they need for their fans, for everybody to be all right, Kansas City is one of the hardest places to play as well.
Yeah.
They're going to deal with a ton of crowd noise. That scares you. But, you have a very veteran offensive line. You have a Harvard graduate at quarterback. I'm sure they've put in a silent count. So, and it's going to rely – the Jets also have good special teams, which when you play in a loud stadium, as long as you don't pin yourself way back in the end zone, you got to play that field position game, and I think the coaching staff way smarter than when Rex Ryan was there, So, that definitely is a benefit.
Yeah. All right. And, Dream, going back to what you were saying about, Florida versus Tennessee yesterday, you got to ask yourself, why is this team favored if they're not that great? So I could tell you this much, that Kansas City is pretty good at home. They won their last 5 games in a row at home and 12-2 in the last 14 games overall. But they're not covering spreads. 1-5 against the spread in the last 6 games. Both teams are 1-1. I think this game will be right down to the wire. I think it's going to be close, tight, and ugly. So I agree that I'm going to stay away from it myself.
It's also a really good spot maybe to put in a 7-point tease.
There you go. You'll probably get it either way.
Get the Jets up to, maybe. I feel very good about the Jets at 10 or 10.5.
Okay, there you go. Exactly. So I remember Scott Matthews came on and plugged the New York Jets plus the points. So we'll see how that goes. Dream, you got anything else on the card that you want to talk about?
I certainly do.
You certainly do. You got a lot of opinions today. What do you got?
Famous Jameis Winston back at it, back at home. Got to bounce back from last week's win. It was absolutely embarrassing. And when you go to the doctors and you look for a win the following week, he usually says, why don't you try a Jeff Fisher team? Yeah. So,
especially on the road.
Fishbone.
In come the Rams with Fishbone. Rams not impressive offensively all season. Looked a little bit better. Got to win against, I guess, an average Seattle team. I don't know. But the Rams seem to own Seattle anyway, even when Seattle was incredible. However, we do know that the bridge stops there as far as the Rams are concerned. Don't really travel well. Got murdered by the Niners week 1. I shouldn't say murdered, but convincingly beat week 1. Didn't travel well in that situation. I don't expect him to travel well in this situation. Gurley, as talented as he is, if you're not able to throw the ball down the field, they're just loading up the box and teeing off against him, which the Broncos will probably be up to. I expect Jameis to bounce back and play a lot better this game. His spirits were up last game, and he was at the end of the game, even though they were losing, he didn't do the Cam Newton thing, sit on the bench with his towel over his head. He was still trying to get his team up and get them to still continue to play. You have to like that out of your star player in a losing situation. I think the Buccaneers win today against the Rams.
You like the Bucs. Dan?
I can't disagree with anything there. I mean, the Rams are I hate Jeff Fisher. He really just is terrible. I don't know how he's been in the league so long. And like you said, I think after getting beat down last week, he keeps a positive attitude, remembers, hey, I'm still making millions. I might as well go out there and give my A game. I'm with you. I'm with you. I think Tampa Bay wins. That, again, guys, that's a nasty 4 number. So, buy a couple points or pair it up with something.
There you go. Well, I'm looking at 6s. It was 6s with Tampa Bay.
I have
6.
4s on some
4s.
books.
Interesting. Well, you know what? We're going to read off the lines on the rest of the games here, and this segment's brought to you by MyBookie.net. MyBookie is the only football contest site where you can play for fun and win for real, whether you're an expert or a rookie. Play now at MyBookie.net. Use the promo code SBTV. So we've got 4 other games that are happening today, and we'll just kind of rattle these off and see if you guys have any opinions on these. Got Arizona at Buffalo. Arizona's -4.5. You've got San Diego at Indianapolis. Indianapolis -3. You got Pittsburgh at Philadelphia. Pittsburgh is -4. And you got Chicago at Dallas in the nightcap. Dallas -7. Dan, any thoughts on those 4?
I think Arizona beats the hell out of Buffalo today.
And Buffalo goes down to 0-3. Dream, how about you?
I do.
I happen to agree with that, but, Buffalo is in you are worried about a team 0-2 at home.
Yes.
You worry about how the Cardinals will be able to travel. Time change, 1 o'clock. Cardinals used to play in maybe the 4 o'clock slot. However, hands down, both sides of the ball, the way more talented team are the Cardinals. From quarterback to wide receiver to defense, the whole thing. Then you look at the Bills, you look at a Rob Ryan defense, and we just say, how do you fire the offensive coordinator and you don't fire the defensive coordinator? And why is he even on the team if it's not for the head coach? And there's all kinds of other questions. The other thing about this Bills thing is you did fire the offensive coordinator, so you already had an offense that was a little bit shaky. So whoever takes over the offense now, they're trying to rewrite a little bit of that offense themselves.
No Sammy Watkins.
No Sammy Watkins. All spells for a disaster. But I'm not touching it. But it's got Cardinals written all over it. I mean, I can't see it any other way personally.
Buffalo is 5-1 straight up in the last 6 when playing the Arizona Cardinals. Just saying. So I think that's going to do it, guys. Great show today.
Oh, right.
Unless you got anything else before we close out.
Well, I do.
Okay, well, all right. All right. That's why I asked.
Do.
Go for it.
It's a full slate of games.
What do you got?
I know Dan got more. It ain't just me. You're the only one. I'm going to play the Dolphins and leave everything else alone.
I am going to, yeah. Well, you know what? I mean, it's tough.
Man, let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys tonight. We got the Chicago Bears coming in to Jerry's World. The Cowboys are looking to get a win tonight at their home stadium. Dak Prescott, a little impressive win last week, even though I think the Redskins did help to gift wrap that. Ezekiel Elliott definitely shown that he's been formidable on the ground. Gang, I really love this game tonight. I like the Cowboys to win. The Bears are the Bears. I don't know who's going to be quarterback for the Bears, whether it's Cuddles or some other.
No, it's not. It's not Cuddles.
I think the Cowboys are still going to be successful. I like the Cowboys tonight to win this game.
I would have to think. I have to think you're 100% right. I mean, the Bears are just a mess. They're just a mess. No quarterback. And then Alshon Jeffrey, questionable going into this game anyway. So is he going to be a decoy? Is he going to be actually able to play? Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, and the Bears are decimated with injuries here. Lots of injuries. Brutal. I mean, this is a mile long, their injury report here. So, all right, we'll see what ends up going down there. You think the Dallas Cowboys get it done? I just look at the Dallas Cowboys and their woes in Jerry's World. So, game kind of bothers me a little bit.
Even more, as far as I'm concerned, that's even more of a reason why I like the Cowboys, because I believe they will be that much up for the game and be able to execute that much better, because they've got to be saying, hey, we need to get a win for this home crowd, the home team, and I'm sure that there'll be some emphasis on making that happen.
There we go. All right, sounds good. So a couple of more games left that we did read before. Dream, what do you got next?
That's it.
That's it. Colts? Nothing with the Colts and the Chargers?
Over.
Don't know how healthy Luck is going to be, though.
Yeah, right. And the Colts, they're just defensively awful. They cannot play defense. I've watched this team both weeks now. They haven't been able to
play defense in 15 years.
Oh, my God. It's almost looking like Peyton Ball's defense out there, Dream.
The Chargers are not a defensive juggernaut either, though. Let's keep that in mind as they blew a big lead against Kansas.
And also remember, they relied a lot on Woodhead, and he's out for the year.
Yep.
How are they going to bounce back from that? I mean, I like Melvin Gordon. I think he has a good game, but they've lost a whole dimension to their offense with the loss of Woodhead. So
there you go. All right, sounds good, guys. So that's going to do it. The hour always flies by. Thank you for the callers. Thank you for the tweets. Thank you for the messages, guys. We're looking forward to a big day of NFL, and we are going to get out of here. So I am going to close it out with Dan, and then the Dream, and then myself. Dan, what are you doing today?
Yeah, so I'm going to ride with those Jaguars plus the 2 points. I'm going to get the Giants down to minus 2.5. I'm going to be on the under for the Vikings-Panthers. I got that at 43.
Okay.
The Niners at plus 10. I'm really debating. I haven't locked this in, and I'm really debating on the famous Jameses. But I am definitely riding the Jets at plus 3. So I haven't decided on the famous Jameses yet. I'll let y'all know.
All right, Dream, what are you on?
Well, we got it. Obviously, gang, money line parlay or teaser. Money line parlay or teaser, whichever one you like. If you get involved with the teaser, my recommendation is go ahead and get the 10.5 points. Obviously, when you're doing the teasers, you obviously want to get the point spread so that you are 3.5, 7.5, or at least a touchdown or at least a field goal or better. So, I mean, you can figure that out. I'm sure everybody, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure that situation out. As far as the teams are concerned, it's going to look a little bit like this. And I haven't made my final selections, but I've told you who I like for the most part during the show. It's definitely going to be the New York Giants, the Green Bay Packers, the Carolina Panthers, and last but not least, the Dallas Cowboys, which will give us another opportunity at 8 o'clock to hedge or possibly middle by taking the Bears, even though I know it's painful to say that, but we'll have an opportunity to hedge or possibly middle again. So that's what we're looking at for today. That's where I'm at. I wish you guys the best of luck. I want to thank everybody that's retweeted the show out there. Once again, I'm the Dream. Always remember who you with. Make the most of each and every day, as you cannot get this time back.
All right, sounds good. So I am going to take, as closing out my teaser, I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins minus 2.5 points. I'm also going to take them on the point spread minus the 10. Going to buy it down a half to get it to 9.5 because I want to win versus push. And that is all I'm on today. I may change my mind and get involved with some 4 o'clock games. I do like this Cincinnati team minus 3.5. So I get it down to 3, obviously, or 2.5. I like them to win the game. Don't necessarily know if I'm going to play it yet, though. I'll make that decision when I do a little bit more homework closer to game time. Guys, we love you to death. Go out there. Go easy. Join us tomorrow, Monday, as we bring in Big Splee. And we talk a little bit about the NFL and what went down yesterday and today as far as college and pro. Whatever you do whatever it is you got to do whatever it is you want to do and get that money. Let's go.
Peace.